Hi everybody, it's Sarah, and I'm here to teach you today or to help guide you into, of course, the body a little bit more and just what's resonating in the world today or what you might kind of experiencing throughout a lot of the change and the uncertainty. I want to speak towards the thoracic cavity, which is part of our spine, and also the heart center. So the two kind of balance each other out, or the two work together, in that we have the heart center that is in the thoracic cavity, and then of course the thoracic spine that is between the cervical and the lumbar spine. And sometimes, or many times, depending on if we're kind of living more in the sympathetic nervous system, which is kind of the fight or flight area, which is the fight or flight area, we can tense up and we start to what we call it collapse. So if I sit sideways, it's this kind of thing. Rather than being here with a taller spine and giving space for our internal organs and our lungs to breathe a little bit more, and when we're feeling more open in the thoracic cavity and we can kind of open that space physically, emotionally and physically, more emotionally, we can get connected to the heart center to feel more in a relaxed state, and then be more in that parasympathetic nervous system, which is that more content, more present state of mind. And I just want to preface that sometimes in the practices or anything health related that we do, that we always think that constantly being in the sympathetic or constantly being in fight or flight, or even being in fight or flight is bad. But I just want to say that it's part of being a human. It's part of what we do. It serves a purpose. It's just when we know that we've gone too far into that area that we want to come back to a state of balance. And so this is why these practices are so important. So what we're going to do is to use the physical to get to the emotional, or more of that connected space from the thoracic cavity, twisting, opening a little bit, so that we can feel a little bit more self-compassion, or compassion for whatever. If you have a blanket at home, it doesn't have to be a blanket like this. Any blanket will do, a throw blanket. But if you feel like you'd like to elevate your hips a little bit or cushion your glutes or your seat, you could do that. It might help, especially if you're sitting crisscross style. And coming all the way up to a seated position, and first things first, we just always notice our breath. Taking this awareness movement from top to bottom up of, what am I feeling in this moment, and what is my breath like? And to be in that space without judgment, just letting it be what it is. If you feel like you're kind of rounding or dumping into your lower back, this is where we want to start to apply a lift. So instead of collapsing, we stay open, we stay present, we're right here. So as if you were feeling just like a soft kind of drift from your kind of mid-back thoracic area, and just lifting your chest or your sternum bone up, so that the lumbar spine gets really long and tall. And then the neck, you start to soften into the neck space, or the cervical spine. And feeling soft palate, which is essentially the top of the mouth, right over your diaphragm and over the pelvic floor. And just start to notice, kind of put your awareness into your thoracic spine. So mid-back, right between the shoulder blades. What's that feel like today? The kidneys, right? Those that also host the adrenal glands, which is the stress hormone of cortisol, where that is released from. So sometimes that, especially if we're in that constant fight or flight mode, or just kind of survival, that will overproduce. So just kind of think about, right, the space of the kidneys. If you have 2 kidneys, 1 kidney, whatever you have present in your body, just giving it with your breath what it needs. What I mean by that is, do you need to soften into that area? Do you need to just hone into your breath to relax? Do you need even a little bit of energy just to get over a little bit of nervous tension? Do you just need love, the vibration of love in that area? And then slowly start to open your eyes. So what we'll do is you might need to move your legs as we do this practice. We'll just be sitting for a little bit. It's just some spinal twists and then moving the arm or the humerus bone kind of through the shoulder socket to find a little bit more mobility as well. So what we'll start with is going ahead and taking your left hand towards your upper rib cage and then taking your right hand towards your heart. And instead of inviting in kind of the abdominal area, the low back to twist with you, just think about twisting left shoulder towards the right side. So I like to place my hand towards my heart just to give myself this visceral experience of what's happening in my heart center and in my back body and the physical. And as I take an inhale, I sit up really tall and I just start to twist that left shoulder to the right side and just feel my right hand start to move, but my left hand doesn't move. And what does that feel like? And then come back to center. So for me, I felt a little pull in my QL muscles in my back body, my mid-back muscles, a little bit in my traps. So for me, before I do this again, I'm going to think about pulling the breath from my low belly, allowing my whole body to be present, and then exhale. Just start to twist. Just having this experience as I twist and open. I know there's a little bit of stuck tension there, so I just invite that in and breathe with it. So about 3 more times. Just inhale, twist. Abdomen stays where it's at. And exhale back to center. 2 more, inhale. Lifting out of my lower back as I sit up tall, twist. And come back to center. 1 more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And come back to center. Good. Your hands down, maybe roll out your neck a little bit, one side to the other. Before we do the other side, if you'd like to switch the cross of your legs. So this is a really slow somatic movement practice today. And we'll do some other poses, but this is what we're just going to do to start. So this time I'll take my left hand to my chest, right hand to the belly or the solar plexus, right? Kind of this powerful energy of the belly space. Just notice what's happening on this side of my body, on this side of the right side of the brain as I start to twist. You can inhale and then exhale, right shoulder towards the left. I'm just using my left hand to guide. That's equally as tense. So just come back to center, inhale, sit up, lift out of my lower back, exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. When you think about twisting, you're just moving from the back of your head this time. So inhale, I lift. And then the back of my head starts to turn to the right, and I twist, and I just feel my nose kind of move to the left. Coming back to center. 2 more times, inhale, lift. Whole body's present, exhale, twist. Back to center. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, twist. That one felt really good. Good. Come back to center. Releasing your hands. Again, maybe dropping your ear towards your shoulder and then half moon crescent circle of the chin to the sternum bone. And you shake it up and down. Okay, so with the shoulder mobility, really light, delicate, just kind of opening also that thoracic cavity, thoracic spine a little bit more. If you need to move your legs again, you can always do that. Or sit up on something else. We'll start on to that right side. So all you're going to do is reach your right arm up. And you're going to turn your palm to face the right side and just take your arm down. Now what I want you to feel as you do this repetitive movement or this kind of pattern movement is what's happening in the thoracic area. What's happening in the collarbone. As I inhale, reach my arm up. Feel a soft lift of the fingertips up. Turn my palm to face the left and then exhale, draw it right down in line with my shoulder. Okay, so you have the head of the arm bone in line with the right elbow. Gently take your left palm, press it into your right inner arm, and just a gentle kind of resistance. So you feel your belly pull back, so you're kind of lifting your lumbar spine out of your lower back. Relax your jaw, a little bit of strengthening, and then spreading through the back body. You're feeling this lift. Your shoulder blades spread apart. Low back is spreading nice and strong. Your belly hug's engaged, hugging in. And then inhale, start to reach that right arm up. Exhale, flip it to the right. Fingertips come down. This time you're gonna make a fist with your right hand. You're gonna tuck it towards that left lower back. You're gonna reach your left hand back to that right fist. Squeeze your elbows back, sit up tall, and draw your chin to your sternum. Good. Keep pulling your low belly in. And then exhale, slowly release. Reach your right arm out, cross it across midline. Right hand towards that left knee. Again, you're just twisting right shoulder to the left without moving your lower back. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, twist. Low back stays stable. Maybe you gaze towards the left side. Last breath. Little bend in that right elbow. And we exhale, come back to center. Okay, other side, maybe cross out the legs. Your right arm, your right arm, left arm reaches up. I'm mirroring you. You're gonna face your palm towards that left side, let your fingertips come down. But inhale, just feel that left arm glide through the rib cage as you lift up. Palm faces to the right, elbow comes in line with the head of the left arm bone. Left palm presses gently into the left inner arm. You're just broadening through that back body. Keep your belly pulled in. So if you feel like you're kind of rounding and collapsing your lower back, sit up really tall. Just envision the breath moving into the back body, opening up the space. A couple more breaths. Relax your neck and your jaw. A little bit of resistance here. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Face your palm over towards the left. Fingertips come down. Make that fist. It's going to go behind that right lower back. Right hand to the left fist. Elbows hug back. Belly hugs in. Chin to sternum bone. Deep breaths in. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, release. Take that left arm up, swing it across midline. Left hand towards that right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Left shoulder to the right side. Without twisting from that lower back. Slowly come back to center. Okay, so now we're going to come towards tabletop. You might want the blanket underneath the knees. And just kind of noticing that mobility that we've created through the thoracic twisting. And now leaning a little bit more from that heart space as you come towards your tabletop. And just some gentle cat-cows, right? So spread through your fingertips. Maybe notice how your low back feels after sitting a little bit more. You're going to reach to the heart. And stabilize in the midline. Inhale, then exhale. Just let the head drop. Stretch the elbows. Tuck your tailbone. Then again, inhale. Make this more about your breath, and then exhale. And belly hugs in. Then again, inhale. And exhale, round. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead, find neutral tabletop. Big toes touch, knees wide, sit hips back to heels, find a child's pose. Stretch through the fingertips. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. You can tuck your toes, find a downward facing dog. Maybe take your feet about as wide as your mat. Just create a little bit more space for the pelvis and the hips. Sway your hips from side to side. Stretch the elbows, back body. This should feel really good. Keep doing this. I'm just going to talk, but this should feel really good on your thoracic spine as you find length through that back body. But really be focused on that core space of the heart as well. So you're right into the midline as you move into one side of the body and then the other. Exhale, coming all the way down towards your knees. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take that right foot, we're going to step it to the outside of the right palm for like a lizard shape. And then just coming up onto that left knee for a breath or two. Kind of find the distance that you need or the space for your hips here to find mobility. And some people might need your foot back, some a little bit more out, just depending on that left hip flexor. Spread through the toes. And what we'll do from here is take your left hand down towards the ground. So we're going to bump that left knee back a little bit more. And all we're going to do is a few twists. You're going to reach your right arm up. And then exhale, take your right elbow towards the inside of your right knee. And then again, inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Hug that right knee in towards midline. One more time, inhale, reach up. And exhale, elbow comes in. Pause in this little lizard shape. So as you're twisting, remember it's imperative to move from the thoracic space, not the lower back. As you inhale, feel your low belly pull and reach to your heart. Good, head over spine. And give into your hips a little bit more here. After all, the lumbar is supporting the thoracic and everything else. The lower back has to hold up the entire upper body all day long. And a little bit of love here. And then exhale. Slowly just swing that right foot back. A couple more rounds of cat-cow. Focusing on that breath. Inhale. Then exhale. Maybe tuck the toes, slide down one more time. Just stretch your back body. Then exhale, drop your knees. Left foot steps to the outside of the left palm. And again, just finding the space that your hips need right here. All right, as we start to add in the twist, remember just to move from the upper spine and not so much from the lower back. Let the hips kind of do the work for the lower back. So if that right hand can come down to the ground, maybe you snuggle the right knee back. Stabilizing the lower body. Now inhale, just feel your left arm glide back through the rib cage. And then exhale, draw the elbow to the inside of the left knee and hug that thigh in. And again, inhale, reach up. Whole body present. Exhale, elbow to the inside of the knee. One more time, inhale, reach up. And exhale, elbow to the inside of the knee, and we'll pause in this lizard shape. You feel this like move up from the lumbar all the way up through the entire spinal cord. Feeling the head stacked right over the spine. Jaws released. Couple more breaths. Give into the hips a little bit. Pelvic floor, belly's engaged. And gently start to back your hips up. Come back towards tabletop. Child's pose. Big toes touch, knees wide. Inhale, come up. If you want a couple more rounds of cat-cow or downward facing dog, find that. And then exhale. We're going to come all the way down to the belly. So if you want a blanket, we're going to do a Sphinx pose. You might keep that blanket right underneath your pelvis. And you're going to come all the way to the belly. We're going to take the elbows right underneath the head of the arm bone. You're going to take your hands about shoulder width apart, okay? Spread through your fingertips really wide. Now the glutes might engage a little bit, which is okay, but just start to soften there. And this is where we get a little bit more of that spinal extension out of the thoracic spine. It doesn't want to bend a lot. It can't. But we can extend through, find a little bit more freedom into the muscular part of the upper back as well. So relax your glutes and relax your feet and just start to hug your elbows back towards your rib cage and spread into the palms and soften your neck and just start to feel the openness of the chest cavity, the thoracic spine. Good. Couple more breaths. And exhale, release. Forearms come down, bend your knees. Take a little sway over your knees from side to side. And do that again. So forearms come down, inhale, lift up. About 5 breaths. Try to draw the head of the arms back, opening up through your chest. Just noticing what your body is feeling and retaining in this moment. Relax the glutes in the lower back. Lengthen through both sides of your neck. One more breath. And exhale. Forearms come down, face faces the opposite way, knees sway. Okay, we're going to do a back bend here, just locust pose. So if you want your arms in more of like an airplane shape, or if you have the mobility, the range of motion to interlace your hands and take your palms back behind you or together, or even elbows out to the side. So this is where you're going to engage your glutes a little bit. Also your lower back strengthening, but lengthening through the entire spine. So as you inhale, maybe try to take feet together, heels together. That's going to strengthen the lower back a little bit more. And then as you inhale, take your breath, you're gonna reach up, but reach the crown of the head forward. Now maybe you sweep your palms off the mat. Good, keep the breath intact. So big inhales, maybe even pause at the top. Back muscles are engaged and strengthening, supporting that thoracic area. Maybe for these last couple breaths, if you haven't already, interlace your palms. Good. A couple more breaths. Whole body present, last breath. And exhale, release. Forehead comes down, or side of the head comes down. Hands alongside the body, press up. If you want that down dog, or a couple more cat-cows, maybe you swing or figure 8 shapes, head and the heart. That might feel nice. And then we're gonna come onto our backs. So you can just take your blanket off to the side for now. And as you come onto your back, you'll hug your knees towards your chest. Take a couple rocks back from side to side. Good. This is where you can either do a happy baby pose, full happy baby if you have that in your practice. If you're newer to it, I recommend half happy baby by taking your right foot down first, maybe your left hand to the outside of your left thigh, or just gently to the back of the hamstring. Lengthening through that back body. So push your entire spine just gently down and towards the ground. So again, either doing half or you do one at a time, or full happy baby and letting those femur bones get heavy into your hip sockets as you press your low back down towards the ground. This compression for the spine can feel really, really rejuvenating and healing. So think about your spine here. If this is too much, also again, hands to the back of the hamstrings. Couple more breaths. Exhale, release. Feet come down to the ground, a little bit wider than your hips, and just let your knees drop back from side to side. Get really widen your knees, so the internal, external rotation, the legs and the hip. You can place one hand to your heart, one hand back to the abdomen. Low back is moving a little bit more. You'll let your knees fall to the right and pause. We'll twist from that thoracic area a little bit more, so palms come out to the side and your gaze just goes towards the left. If you want that big thoracic twist, you're gonna stack your left knee on top of your right knee and take your knees a little higher. And then your arms go back out to the side. Inhale. Using your core, draw your knees back to center. Maybe take a little sway back from side to side. Maybe toes up to the sky, roll up the ankles, point flex your feet. And exhale down, feet back out to the edges of the mat or wider than hips, sway back from side to side. This time knees fall to the left, arms come out towards that T shape. Maybe stacking if you want a bigger twist in the thoracic area. And pause. Get really heavy into the shoulder space. Softening into the jaw. And inhale, come back to center. One more time, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe take the toes up the sky, point flex your feet, roll out your ankles. So, if you'd like, from here, you're either going to just lay down into Shavasana, onto your back if you want a blanket over your body or over the pelvis. I'll just guide you through a quick self-compassion meditation. So as you lay onto your back, you're welcome to close your eyes or keep your eyes open and just focusing towards a speck on the sky or on the ceiling, wherever you're at. And so we draw this physical practice more into the energy body, becoming aware of the heart space. And breathing in just a sense of lightness and healing for you into your heart. As if you were opening up the channels and the kind of the gate of the heart and allowing this energy to come in, especially if you've been feeling it a little closed off lately. That through this experience, we all experience and encounter hurt from time to time. Whether it's physical, emotional, it's part of the human condition, the human experience. So just acknowledging that in the past or even right now that you may have been hurt by something. And know that in this moment you are on the other side of that. So giving your heart the attention, the gratitude, the awareness of how strong it is and how resilient it is. And giving yourself the sense of compassion that you are here right now, that you are healing in this moment. So giving yourself the space and the awareness that even through the hurt that you are coming out on the other side of it. Stronger, resilient, more open, and more aware of the love that has supported you through this entire time. So loving yourself through the hurt, loving yourself through the healing, loving yourself through the joy and the grace, and loving yourself now. Just taking a few more moments just to feel this through your entire body. And so thank you everyone. If you have a little bit more time, you can stay in your final resting space. If not, thank you so much. I'm so blessed that you were able to join me for this practice today. It was my honor to lead and guide you through it. And thank you.